Jesus said, "Man cannot live on bread alone, but from every word that proceeds from the mouth of God." You're listening to Daily Truth.
There are many today, in the name of pragmatism, and ultimately, I believe, in the name of spiritual apathy and fatigue, they have abandoned a robust, saturated home when it comes to gospel proclamation in word. Think of these two things to make it as simple as possible. Proclaiming the truth of the gospel in word and demonstrating the power of the gospel in deed. Verse 4 of our text says, "Let us not hide them from our children." Fathers and mothers, but fathers to the highest degree, as head of the home. Fathers, we can hide the truth of the gospel by neglecting to proclaim it in word, and we can hide the power of the gospel by neglecting to demonstrate it in deed. And what we've seen, I believe, in evangelicalism as a whole is an abandonment from the importance of proclaiming the truth of the gospel, sound doctrine, in word. And what is always cited as a reason why? Well, I know a family that homeschooled their kids and they still abandoned the faith. Right? I know a family that did family worship every single night. The kids went apostate. You know, I know that church, that Reformed Baptist, covenantal, confessional church that had family integrated worship. And the kids grew up, and they actually just grew up with a hardness of heart, because Sunday represented an hour and a half of boringness. The preaching was over their heads. The church really presented nothing for children. And I know the families that were a part of the family integrated church, homeschooling, private Christian school, family worship in the morning for 15 minutes and for 45 minutes every evening. And those kids didn't turn out great. Cited as what? Anecdotal evidence for you to be lazy, Dad. That's all that is. And you know that's all that is. And this is my point. The kids who went apostate in those scenarios, I have to believe, because of the promises of God in Scripture, I have to believe that the kids who went off the rails in those homes, it is not because the fathers overburdened them by doing too much. I have to believe it's because those fathers did still too little. They proclaimed the word and the truth of the gospel in word, but they did not back it up with its power in deed. What drove those children away, I have to believe, what drove those children away was not family worship annoying them. It was not family integrated worship on the Lord's day being boring. And it was not being homeschooled when they should have been immersed in culture. It's like, well, I want my children to be a missionary. A missionary is a soldier, right? So by the same logic, you should be enlisting 5, 6, and 7-year-olds in the army. That's not what we do with children. We don't enlist children as soldiers. We go fight for children to protect their safety. When they're grown, then sure, send your sons to die. When they're grown. And what we've concluded from all of this is that the fathers who did that were too strict. And that's what drove their children away. And now we have proof and support to somehow feel spiritually mature while being lazy at the same time. Isn't that convenient? No, those children who went away, it's not because the fathers did too much in proclaiming the truth of the gospel and word. I must believe and I implore you to believe as well, that those fathers who saturated their homes with the gospel proclamation and word did not accompany the gospel and word with a demonstration of the power of the gospel indeed.
Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you would consider supporting Right Response Ministries, we'd be incredibly grateful. You can do so by going to rightresponseministries.com/donate to give your gift of any amount. If you're not able to support us financially, that's okay. You can still support us in a great regard simply by subscribing to our YouTube channel, clicking the bell, and of course sharing our content with all your friends and family. We can't do this without you, your support, and your prayers. So thank you.